Here are the most frequently asked questions under microbiology. The first one, name any 4 microbes or microorganisms in food. So the 4 microbes that you have to know under microbiology are: number 1, helminths or helminthes. Number 2, bacteria. These are different microbes. Number 3, virus. Number 4, protozoan. Okay, causing malaria, right? Yeah. So you need to know about this. Question 2. Explain the meaning of the following microbiological theories: spontaneous generation. Okay, under introduction to microbiology, that's where there is a spontaneous generation. Okay, so under spontaneous generation, Anton van Leeuwenhoek is the model we need to look at mostly under spontaneous generation, where he says I can create life from the non-living organisms, right? Yeah, so he said a lot about spontaneous generation. So he said the living organisms are created from non-living organisms. And then the germ theory, this is Anton, okay? Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Okay, according to him, that's what those are the postulates. And then under germ theory, they discovered the bacteria were responsible for the diseases, okay? They proposed that the bacteria are responsible okay. So we have other questions like the great differences between a compound light microscope and an electronic microscope. Okay, so if you want to answer this one in full, depending on the marks you are given, you have to make sure that you know the difference in terms of resolution, in terms of price, which one is expensive, okay, which one is cheap. You have to know about the type of specimen, okay, that are used, okay. You have to know about the resolution power, okay. So you have to know what each one uses: light microscope, okay, electron microscope, okay. You have to know. So some of the differences that you need to know, and don't forget to know the parts of the microscope in case you are asked to draw the microscope in an exam. So anything is possible, you need to know. So the first one, it is mainly used by students from secondary level, primary level, or in colleges and universities. Okay, so which one? The compound microscope. Okay, The compound microscope. Let's talk about the compound microscope. Okay, in terms of use, you see, who uses it? Mostly by students. Okay, most used by students at different levels, right? Okay, what else? It can magnify a specimen at the maybe close to by, is it times somewhere, let's say 1000, okay, and then in terms of magnification, okay, it can magnify the specimen, can magnify at least up to some extent, which may be, can magnify at least up to by 1000. The other thing is cheap compared to electron microscope. And then we can say it does not focus detailed parts compared to remember we are comparing against the electron. So this one does not focus detailed parts compared to an electron microscope. Okay, so it can focus live specimen, including those in motion. Okay, live specimen can focus live specimens. Okay, so the opposite of this, which means the electron microscope, they are used by mostly the professions, those in different professions in industries, can magnify higher than 1000. Okay, in terms of magnification, it is expensive. This one is cheap. The electron is expensive. Can focus detailed parts because compound microscope does not focus detailed parts compared to electron. Okay, so you can just the opposite of that. Okay, so you need to know about fungi also. Okay, these organisms. Okay, so fungi, they are mostly absorbers. Okay, the general characteristics of fungi, they are mostly absorbers. I'm trying to simplify everything. Okay, in terms of feeding, they are absorbers, and then secondly, they are decomposers. They decompose. Okay. Number 3, you can tell in terms of the membrane, they have a nuclear bound membrane. In terms of the structure, And then you can say they are unicellular and multicellular. Both unicellular and multicellular. Okay, so they can be parasitic. Sorry, they are parasitic, okay, in terms of symbiotic relationship. They are parasitic to other organisms. And then type of nutrition. So you have to know the type of nutrition. They are saprophytic, which means they feed on dead decaying matter. Saprophytic. Type of nutrition. Okay, so this is what you need to know about the general characteristics of fungi in case you are asked in an exam. Okay, so this is it for now. So here is the work you need to do. Okay, your task. The first one, explain the functions of different parts of a microscope. As a microbiology student, you need to know different parts of a microscope and how to draw it. And then at least you name scientists who are responsible for the following discoveries. Okay, those scientists who are said to be responsible. You see, because we may not know if they are actually the ones, okay, but they are said to be responsible for the discovery of number one, Petri dish, penicillin, vaccine for smallpox, first electron microscope, and then DNA strand, okay? Yeah, that's it for now.